Hey everyone, and welcome back to What If Kid Goku Turned Super Saiyan. This is part 8, and as always, I'll be leaving a link to the first 7 parts in the description and in the cards. Just before we begin, I'd like to remind everyone to subscribe and ring the bell if you like what I do here. It doesn't cost anything, and it does really help me out, so thank you very much to those who have already subscribed as well. As a quick recap, Goku exploded into Super Saiyan and obliterated Tambourine and King Piccolo after the murder of Krillin. This, of course, means that the Earth's Dragon Balls are gone. Goku later struck a deal with the Saiyans, promising to help them take down Frieza in return for the safety of the people of Earth. After a few months of rigorous gravity training and a short but eventful encounter with the Ginyu Force, Goku easily destroyed Frieza as a Super Saiyan. Later, when King Cold arrived on Earth for revenge on the Saiyans, a mysterious boy appeared to defeat him. This, of course, was Trunks, who had travelled from 20 years in the future to save Goku's life. After 3 years, Goku in full power Super Saiyan, or Grade 4 if you prefer, wipes the floor with number 19, and later easily knocks out Cyborg number 17 as well. Goku then delivered the pod containing number 16 to Capsule Corp, where Bulma is working to reprogram him. After a few hours, he also delivers a consenting and at ease number 17, hoping to get the bomb in his chest removed. They head off to check out the old time machine, but after Goku senses Cell's energy, he takes Gohan, Vegeta, and Trunks to the Room of Spirit and Time. Meanwhile, after defeating both Vegeta and Trunks, number 18 heads to Kame House to get answers, and finds herself absorbed by Cell instead. Semi-perfect Cell toys with Raditz and Krillin for a little bit too long, and Grade 4 Trunks and Vegeta show up with Senzu beans to hand out. And this is where we'll begin today. Cell is surrounded. One full power Super Saiyan is no problem. He could probably take 2 of them, but 3? And still no sign of Cyborg number 17. The Super Saiyans move in, and while individually they're all just a bit weaker than Semi-Perfect Cell, together they have him on the ropes. Even Vegeta is working as part of a team effort, understanding that Cell is stronger than him. For Cell, it isn't hurting too much, but he is being pushed back by quite a margin. He begins to curse everything: Vegeta, Trunks, Raditz, Nappa, Krillin, but most of all, Cyborg 17. If only he hadn't run off, he'd be perfect by now, and then he'd easily wipe the floor with these weaklings. At the same time, even. Vegeta stops. Oh really? Cell sees an opportunity to gain some distance using Vegeta's pride against him, and explains that he only needs to absorb one more cyborg to become complete. You have my attention. Go and get your cyborg. Kakarot said he's at Capsule Corp. Trunks and Raditz are, understandably, outraged, and move to stop Cell, but Vegeta knocks Trunks back, leaving Raditz to fight Cell alone again. He runs interference, slowing Cell down a little, but it's not enough and he's losing ground quickly. Trunks just about manages to blast Vegeta away and join in, but Cell is quickly growing impatient. He uses a Taioken to blind the 2 Saiyans and speeds off towards Capsule Corp. Even though they can sense him, the Saiyans are still much slower than Cell. During this time, Krillin and Nappa have managed to get back to Kame House and call Bulma, warning her of what Vegeta has done, and that Cell is on his way to absorb number 17. He reaches Capsule Corp and blows a hole in the wall. Now remember, number 17 doesn't give off an energy signature. Bulma didn't have a lot of time to act, but now that 17 knows his sister has already been absorbed and that this Cell is stronger than Goku, he knows to curb his bravado and hide. This leads to an incredibly tense game of hide and seek between the two. After a while, Cell gets bored of the game and starts blowing up parts of the building, destroying Bulma's lab and everything in it in the process. Luckily, an unconscious number 16 and Bulma were hidden in an underground sublab. This, however, scares number 17, who attempts to make a break for it. Unfortunately, with most of the walls either damaged or gone, Cell sees him and gives chase. He lets number 17 think he's getting away, before hitting him in the stomach and knocking him to the ground. He looms over his prey, his tail expanding and creeping further forward, Cell laughing maniacally. And then, his tail hits the floor. Severed again by Trunks' Kienzon, a technique he learned from Krillin in the future. He and Raditz land and move in for a final assault on Cell, while number 17 attempts to run for it again. Vegeta has also been here for a while, just floating above the scene and watching it with a smirk on his face. Grunting, Cell fights off Raditz and Trunks' relentless assault, while regrowing his tail and swiping number 17's legs out from underneath him. He knocks Trunks back before chopping the back of Raditz's neck, knocking him out again. Cell absorbs number 17, and for the first time the world feels the terrifying power of Perfect Cell. Vegeta lands, still smirking.
From the way you've been carrying on, I was expecting a true challenge. If that's your idea of perfect, I might as well go home.
Cell asks Vegeta to help him warm up. Trunks leaps to his feet and joins in. They were already outmatched before Cell achieved perfection, but now it's not even fun for Cell. He beats Vegeta to a pulp, even taking his final flash the same way as the original story, only to regrow his arm and knock Vegeta out. Trunks is left beaten and in shock, but Cell is bored and doesn't feel like he'll ever get a challenge again. It's then that he asks if the Saiyans could get any stronger, given enough time. And so the Cell games are announced over a nationwide broadcast the next day. Before that, Goku and Gohan emerge from the Room of Spirit and Time. Since Goku only had to teach Gohan how to use full power Super Saiyan and not the initial form, they had a lot of time to train together and push their limits. Goku and Gohan are leagues ahead of Vegeta and Trunks now, a fact that only serves to anger Vegeta further. He takes Trunks back into the chamber and slams the door. After this, Raditz would take his turn. Nappa, however, decides against going in the room, still doubting his power can get any higher, and certainly not as high as the other Saiyans. He's content with his lot in life. Besides, he is getting older, and he doesn't want to waste a year for nothing. Goku, as in the original, decides that light training and rest is more important in the 10 days before the Cell games. He saw Gohan's true power in the Time Chamber, something far beyond the power of Super Saiyan. In truth, Goku was close to achieving this power himself, but something was missing. He decided that Gohan was much closer and went with his original plan. 10 days pass by and the Cell games begin. Goku goes first, as always, but surrenders. This time, Goku has barely put a dent in Cell, while Goku is both exhausted and has a lot of damage. Therefore, Goku doesn't throw Cell a Senzu Bean this time, instead deciding to eat it himself. The fight between Gohan and Cell begins, and mostly goes the same way. Gohan just doesn't want to fight seriously against Cell, and tells him about his rage. This piques Cell's interest. He sends out the Cell Juniors to fight the gang. Goku dominates his Cell Junior for the most part, but everyone else struggles massively. These Cell Juniors are stronger than usual, so even the likes of Raditz, Trunks and Vegeta can't beat them easily, even at full power Super Saiyan. Cell sees that the fighting is just making Gohan upset but not angry. And without number 16's timely intervention, 2 of the Cell Juniors get a kill. Yamcha and Krillin are both killed by Cell Juniors. This results in 2 things happening. The first is Nappa's rage at losing his closest friend. He lets out an angry cry which turns into a primal scream as his facial hair and eyebrows turn golden. Nappa is now, finally, a Super Saiyan and full of anger. The second thing is Goku's rage at seeing his best friend die in front of him again, and this time Yamcha too. In a burst of anger, he unleashes his full power and destroys his Cell Junior, leaping forth to destroy the one who took Krillin's life too. Once the 2 murderous juniors are taken care of, he starts attacking the others, starting with the one fighting Raditz. Together as a team, they make it through the Cell Juniors with no more deaths, and Senzu Beans are handed out, but without Dragon Balls, they have no way of bringing the fallen back to life. Meanwhile, Cell, who has been watching his Cell Juniors fail, sighs. Such a disappointing waste of time. Oh well, at least he can make Goku angrier, and maybe stronger. He raises his finger at Gohan, who has fallen to his knees in sorrow, and without a second thought, fires a death beam. Gohan looks up to see his father standing before him, a hole through his chest. He looks back at Gohan, and smiles. Goku tells Gohan that he's sorry. He knows that his son isn't a fighter at heart, and he shouldn't have put him in this position. He did well, and he's proud of him. His last words are to tell Chi-Chi that he's sorry, as he collapses and dies in front of his son. Gohan screams, a raw cry of emotion which shatters the ground beneath his feet and causes the earth itself to shake. Sparks of electricity fly about him as a shining golden aura bursts forth from his body. His hair stands on end and his eyes narrow towards the one who just killed his father. Cell got his wish. Gohan is angry now. And that's where we're going to leave things for right now. So, what do you guys think? Is Gohan strong enough to defeat Perfect Cell? Will the gang find a way to bring Goku, Krillin, and Yamcha back to life? Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next part. If you guys want to support me in any way, the best way right now is to listen to my music over at Valsteer and my band Without My Addiction. Thanks so much guys, I'll see you next time.